Thank you Shay4Hilk for suggesting this challenge. In my last video, I suffered trying to beat Pokemon Emerald with May's anime team. This week isn't any different and I'm gonna be trying to beat Pokemon X and Y with Clement's anime team. Here's his team and as you guys can tell, it kinda sucks. So there's no doubt this is gonna be difficult. With that being said, let's get right into the rules I'll be giving myself. Why? Because I love myself so much. I can only use Pokemon from Clement's anime team, but HM slaves are allowed. No items in battles, but held items and Pokeballs are allowed. And I have to set the game in set rules so I wouldn't know what Pokemon will be sent out after beating one. Do you guys think I'll be able to beat Pokemon X and Y with Clement's anime team? Well, you have to watch until the end to find out. If you guys enjoy my content, please be sure to subscribe since it's free, and you guys can always unsubscribe later. And without further ado, let's get right into this challenge. After naming myself Clement and getting rudely interrupted in my beauty sleep.
What's good against the Viper?
Earthquake, sorry, ground, psychic,
Earth?
ground.
Earth type?
I'm thinking of the last Airbender. Shut up! Oh my god.
We got bird type and earth type now.
No, you're so annoying. Oh my god. I head to Aquacore Town to get a future Pokemon, Chespin, that I named Java. If you get this reference, you're probably suffering as much as I am. I won't be using Java until I get to Luminous City, because Clement doesn't meet him until he gets there. After heading to Route 2, we go ahead to capture our first Pokemon that will be starting off our journey, Bunnelby, which I named C. Yes, just C. My only Pokemon is C, and right off the bat we have to grind. Yay! Why do I do this to myself? After we did all that though, we basically speedrun everything. And in no time we made it to Santalune City. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. C's kinda garbage. So let's hope that he gets a lot better later on in the journey. I head to the bug type gym and I beat all the gym trainers with relative ease, but Viola's a different story. C just can't do enough damage to knock out both Surskit and Vivian by himself. I grinded up until level 14 while losing my mind, of course.
Psyduck.
Psyduck.
Nice.
Psyduck.
Nice.
But soon enough, we try again. She sends out Surskit and I send out C, and I immediately try lowering her defense so I can hopefully knock her out quickly. Luckily for us, all we needed to do is use one tackle and one quick attack, knocking it out. After that, we were able to learn quick attack. Wait, no. After that, we were able to learn takedown, which is really good. Let's f***ing go, dude. Now it's time for us to face her ace, Vivian. Here, I used the same strategy. I started lowering her defense and in no time we were able to knock it out with takedown and quick attack. Barely winning us a battle, but getting us a bug badge. After that, we head to Luminous City and in the routes following, we decided to grind up because I know we'll need it. You know what else is garbage?
Me.
Bunnelby. Oh.
What?
I love my Pokemon. I don't. There we'll finally be able to add Java, which is a really good improvement to our team already. During my time in Luminous City, I just couldn't help making fun of the huge red herring in the game. Okay, do you want to play a game?
Okay.
It's called Spot the Villain. With that out of the way, we have almost all the Pokemon on his team already, which is really good. The challenge is really going smoothly. On my way to Grand Gym, I made it to Glittering Cave. Here, I want you guys to predict what fossil I'll choose. I'll give you guys 5 seconds. If you guys guess a cell fossil, congrats. This time, you'll get a brownie. Yeah, a brownie. Anyways, let's talk a bit about the rock type gym. I'm kinda scared of it because I don't think my Pokemon can handle both Almora and Tyrant. C's and Java's defense are pretty trash, and their speed are mediocre at best. Already, I'm feeling the effects of not evolving my Pokemon. But we wouldn't know what happens until we try facing the gym, so let's try it. I was able to beat some of the gym trainers without any problems with relative ease, so maybe I could beat Grant? Okay, at least half. Are you gonna paralyze me? Yeah, you are. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you just paralyzing me, that's fine. So
I don't think it's here.
that's an ice type move. Oh! I don't know. I have to do something about that paralyzation and their insane defense. For that, I decided to give C a Cherry Berry and to teach him TM Rock Smash. What I'm hoping is that I get lucky enough so I could lower the defense of Tyrant when he comes out. This took me multiple tries, and I was getting really angry, but finally we got the battle we needed. He sends out Omoro and I send out C, thinking he'll use Thunder Wave. I use Rock Smash and in return he hits me with a heavy takedown. This is actually really scary. Luckily for me, I was able to knock it out. And now it's time for his ace, the Pokemon that's been making this challenge difficult, Tyrant. I used Rock Smash and luckily for me, I was able to lower his defense. Let's go, dude! Things are really starting to look good for me right now. I sent out Java and I used Leech Seed so I'll be able to steal HP from him. After that, I started spamming Vine Whip over and over again until I was able to knock it out, winning me the battle and getting me the Cliff Badge. And finally ending this frustrating battle. And to see how frustrated I am with this gym, here's my reaction after winning the battle. This badge is mine. Give me my badge. My badge. You suck. Thank you for the badge. So usually, I wouldn't add this battle, but this was legitimately a roadblock. What is a roadblock, you guys might be asking? Well, fighting types. Once again, C's and Java's defenses are actual garbage. So no matter how much I tried battling them over and over again, I just couldn't beat them. It just felt impossible. So what I decided to do here is EV Train because I feel like that's the only thing I could do to at least survive against Lucario. It's basically Call of Duty.
Gigantamax!
I was finally able to beat him, just barely, and it's actually scary fighting against fighting types because we are actually hopeless. And it doesn't help that she literally has a fucking Halucha. That's gonna be an actual nightmare. But for now, we'll have to move on for a bit. I made it past Reflection Cave and I made it to Shilor City where the next gym's gonna be. I grabbed the Eviolite and went to the Tower of Mastery. There, we're gonna have another rival battle with Serena. This took me a couple of tries. For now, Brixton is just too much for me to handle. For that, I decided to grind up C to level 33 where he learned Stig, and with this, we were finally able to get a chance to beat her. She sends out Meowstic and I send out Java. Here, I was able to use Leech Seed and a couple of pin missiles were able to knock her out. In retaliation, she sends out Absol, which knocks me out, but C was able to knock her out with one return. We are looking pretty fucking good right now, not gonna lie. Screw you, Serena, you suck. Now, it's time for the gym, and I'm absolutely terrified of it. But let's try our best. I beat all the gym trainers with relative ease? And now it's time to face Karina. And I guess I'm pretty confident here. Her Halucha doesn't have any flying type moves, so Java might be able to barely scrape by.
Yeah.
That's not a flying type. What? So I didn't know Flying Press counts as both a flying type move and a fighting type move. So that's great. I got absolutely fucking destroyed. I needed to think of a strategy to beat her, and I need a lot of luck. I decided to teach Java Aerial Ace, and I grinded up until C can learn Bounce. Hopefully this is enough to destroy her. She sends out Mianfu and I send out C, which I immediately knock out with one bounce. And then she sends out her ace, Halucha. She uses Flying Press and I survive with one fucking HP, and I was able to paralyze him with Bounce. Holy fucking shit, dude. I can't believe I got this lucky. One return was able to knock it out. And now it's time for our last Pokemon, Machoke. And one bounce wasn't enough to knock it out, but Java was able to knock it out with one aerial ace, winning us the battle and getting us the Rumble Badge. After that, in the anime, Clement sees his childhood friend, a Luxio, named Python. It was hanging out around Route 12, so he decided to keep it. Finally, some decent Pokemon. Yeah, come to Papa. Since I physically cannot catch Luxio on this route, I decided to trade one over to make this challenge possible. This is gonna be a huge improvement to our team. While we were here, I wrote some Skittles. I don't know if that matters, but I still wrote some Skittles. And as I expected, right off the bat, Python is carrying our team really hard. Thank God I can finally use him. I made it to Comarin City, where the grass type gym is gonna be.
Cast form. I literally do not. I mean, I feel like it'd be nice.
You could use him, but you gotta use him wisely, like in the weather, like...
I'll name this one Torture.
And right in front of the gym, we have another rival battle with Serena. But because of our preparation, we were able to beat her without any problems. And now it's time to face the grass type gym. As I expected, I destroyed the gym trainers with relative ease, and now it's time to face Ramos. And to be completely honest with you guys, he's kinda garbage. It didn't take much work to beat him. He sends out Jumpluff and I send out Python, and I was able to knock it out with a couple of sparks. And right off the bat, he sends out his ace, Go. For that, I sent out Java and I started spamming bulk up. One aerial ace was able to knock it out. And now it's time for his last Pokemon, Weeping Bell, which I absolutely murdered with one aerial ace, winning us the battle and getting us the plant badge. Ramos is and will always be a joke during these challenges. After that, I head to Decalos Deadlands where we see Team Flare once again being dumb. And when battling one of the grunts, Python evolves into Luxray. This is gonna be great because he's our first and only fully evolved Pokemon. He's just vibing out. Team Flare wasn't much of a problem, so I decided to skip them and I head straight to Luminous City, where my gym's gonna be. I head to Prism Tower and I see someone weird. I don't know about you guys, but this guy kinda sus. I'm sorry. Anyways, I played their dumb game show. It's Pikachu! And I beat up the gym trainers with relative ease. Now it's time to face the imposter, and as I expected, it wasn't that bad. He sends out Omega and I send out Python. And he uses Volt Switch and he sends in his Heliolisk. This really didn't matter much because Jabba was able to knock it out with Leech Seed and Seed Bomb. He once again sends out Omega and I send out Python. And this little keeps being a pain because he keeps using Volt Switch, so I send in C to finally knock it out with Dig. Now this little can't run away, so I took extra pleasure knocking it out with a few returns, winning us a battle and getting us a Voltage badge. I'm the gym leader now. In Route 14, we have another rival battle with Serena. Her Delphox is kinda scary, but it wasn't much of a problem, so I'll just skip this battle. See ya, Trevor. Nerd. Wait, I'm the guy that named all my Pokemon after programming languages. Never mind.
Yeah, who's the nerd here?
I made it to Liberty City where the next gym's gonna be, and I start heading over to Valerie. I once again try avoiding the trainers at all costs, but of course... Turn! Ay. With that out of the way, it's time to face Valerie. She sends out Mawayo and I send out C, but a couple of things were able to knock it out. Next is her Mr. Mime, which I almost knock out with returns, but her Psychic kills me. In retaliation, I send out Java to take care of it with Seed Bombs. Now it's time for her ace, Sylveon. She was able to knock out Java with Dazzling Gleam, but not before I used Leech Seed on him. It's time for Python to finish this battle, and with one Thunderfang, I was able to knock it out, winning us battle and getting me the Fairy Badge. After taking care of everything we needed to do, we head over to the Pokeball factory. Somehow, these idiots were able to invade an entire factory. Yeah, I don't know how either. What are you guys doing? Late as always. What did you think was gonna happen? As threatening as they look in the cutscene, they weren't much of a problem, and the admins weren't any better, so let's just skip this. During that, however, I realized how trash C actually was. You are trash! Garbage! Oh my god. Because of that, I decided to grind up to make him a little more useful and... Oh shit. Well, that's great. Looks like I have to do that all over again. Great. Anyways, we have another encounter with Team Flare. But of course, Python and Java made easy work of them. Not Dory. Every time I turn. Oh no, this again.
Wait, the dowsing machine.
The dowsing machine. Dun. I head to Route 17.
Snow vision?
Hmm?
I mean, I don't know, snow vision for snow type.
Ice! Ice! We're not going over this again. And I made my way to Anistar City where the 7 gym's gonna be. We again have another rival battle with Serena in front of the gym. Great! She sends out Meowstic and I send out Python. She wasn't much of a problem because I was able to knock her out with one crunch. She then sends out her Delphox, which I almost knock out with one crunch, but not quite. I needed to use Quick Attack from C to finish her off. Next is her Jilchian, which I was able to destroy with Earthquake and Quick Attack to finish her off. Now it's time for her final Pokemon, Absol. I tried doing chip damage on it, but I started panicking when she starts using Swords Dance. Thankfully, we were able to knock it out with Java, but holy was that terrifying. Now it's time for us to face a gym. and hopefully this isn't that bad. The gym trainers were jokes thanks to Python, and in no time we made it to Olympia. Because of how easy the gym trainers were, I was pretty confident that I would be able to beat her without any problems. Which of course, I did. This battle was an absolute joke, with Python being out for the majority of it. I was able to knock out her Slowking and Sigilyph with Thunderfang, and Crunch was able to destroy her ace, Meowstic, winning us a battle and getting us a Psychic badge. Python once again being able to carry everyone on his back, and getting us a gym badge. What an absolute legend. Now it's time for the long and annoying Team Flare arc. Yup, the one arc where we battle Lysander 3 times in the span of an hour. All 3 times I battled him, I've lost at least 1 time. So, until then, I'm gonna speed explain everything that happens. I stormed the Lysander Cafe. Here, we have our first battle with him. I of course need Python and Java to carry him because C seems to not be able to do that. After that, we learned about the ultimate weapon that Team Flare's gonna use because we ain't beautiful enough apparently. After that, we head to Geogen's Towns where Team Flare's secret hideout is. We will skip the second battle with Lysander because it's more or less the same outcome as the first battle. After that, we face a Pokemon that's gonna destroy humanity. I stared straight into his eyes, and I chuck a Master Ball at it, finishing the battle. After that, it's time for our last and final battle with Lysander. We lost over and over and over again, and I genuinely thought we couldn't win this. I tried different strategies until I found one that barely worked for me. Teaching Python Protect and giving Python the Citrus Berry. These are small changes, but we needed these changes to win this battle. He sends out Mianfu and I send out Java. Anticipating a high jump kick, I used Protect so he could hurt himself. This made it possible for me to knock him out with 1 aerial ace. He sends out Pyroar, and here I sack off Java because he did what he needed to do. I sent out Python to finish him off. Somehow he hit in another Fire Blast, but luckily for me I was able to paralyze him with 1 Thunderfang. Finally some good f***ing RNG. And because of this, I am now faster than him, and another Thunderfang was able to knock him out. He sends a Honchkrow, which Python was able to knock out with 1 Thunderfang, and now it's time for his ace, his last Pokemon, Mega Gyarados. I sent out C to sack him off and so I can get intimidated off with Python. Somehow I ended up being faster than him and I barely lived an Earthquake. I was able to use 2 Thunderfangs to knock it out, finally finishing this long and annoying arc. We can finally continue on with our lives and get our last... Oh wait, we have used the survival battles with Shauna, Trevor, and Tierno. Anyways, we made it to Snowbell City, the city where the last and final gym's gonna be. We make it to the Pokemon Village where we tell Wolfric to get his back to the gym so we can beat him up and get the badge. As confident as I sound, I don't really have anyone to counter Ice types, so let's hope for the best. I was able to beat the gym trainers with relative ease, so I calmed down for a bit, and in no time I made it to Wolfric. That smacked his stomach? What the? This took me a couple of tries because this Avalog is essentially a tank. This is kind of a problem because most of my Pokemon are physical attackers, so my best option here is to just stall him out. More than he can stall me out, of course. He sends out Obama Snow and I send out C. Here I did some chip damage and I know C's gonna get knocked out, so he's just fodder for me in this battle. I send out Python and with 3 returns I was able to knock it out. This next Pokemon is Cryogonal, which I was able to one-shot with 1 Wild Charge. Now it's time for his ace, Avalog. Here I decided to sack off Python because out of all my Pokemon, Java can stall out the best here. I use a cheap tactic where I use Leech Seed and spam Bulk Up so he can barely do any damage to me. Once I felt comfortable enough, I used 2 Wood Hammers to barely knock him out, but getting me the Iceberg badge. This is our final badge and now it's time for us to head to the League 4. I head to the Victory Road and everything's going really good. Like seriously, I feel really confident that I could beat this game with Fly. Well, that sucks. I accidentally lost a challenge because the only time I want Mianxiao to hit her high jump kick so I can black out, she misses! And of course, I'm annoyed because I wish things didn't go that way. That's really unfortunate. But I've gone too far and I don't want to stop now.
So yeah, that's what you should mention. You lost.
I lost. I get it. I lost. Okay, I lost. I get it. Okay, please stop rubbing it in. I still want to finish this challenge. While we're here, we have our last and final rival battle with Serena, so let's make this the best. This took me a few tries, so it wasn't that bad. She sends out Meowstic and I send out Python, which I was able to immediately knock out with 1 Crunch. She sends out Delphox, which once again I was able to knock out with a crunch. She sends out Altaria, and I was able to do a bunch of damage with it with Wild Charge, but I was able to knock it out with Return. She sends out Absol, which I was able to knock out with one Wild Charge. And now it's time for her last Pokemon, Jolteon, which Jabo made easy work of with Wood Hammer and Brick Break. Well, so much for making this the best rival battle. After this, we head straight to the Pokemon League. I went straight to the Elite 4 and I got absolutely destroyed by the Steel Elite 4 member. No matter how many times I tried, I just kept losing. So because of that, I decided to grind up and I decided to EV train Python. I EV train him in attack and special defense because I feel like that's gonna be really useful for him. So here's our final team that I'll be taking to the Elite 4. Let's hope for the best. I feel like this would take me a few tries, but it's definitely possible. Anyways, let's get right into it. The first member is a Steel type Elite 4 member, Wigstrom. He sent out Klefki and I sent out C. I expected him to use Spike, so this gives me a chance to use Power Up Punch to increase my attack. With that boost, I was able to knock it out with one Earthquake. He sent out Aegislash, but because of Torment, I couldn't do much, so I decided to send in Python, mainly because of the Intimidate. Expecting him to use a Ghost type move, I sent in C, and luckily for me, he went for it. And Earthquake was able to do so much damage to him. Sadly, it wasn't enough to knock him out, but I'm happy with the results. I sent out Java to of course try stalling him out with Leech Seed and Bulk Up. I felt like I needed to stack up in order to win this battle. After I got comfortable enough, I used Seed Bomb to knock him out. And next is his Scizor, which I'm absolutely terrified of. Luckily, I was able to survive on X-Scissors and we were able to do some chip damage on him. Now it's up to Python to take care of the remaining Pokemon. One Wild Charge was able to knock out Scizor. Now it's time for his last Pokemon, Probopass. I first used Crunch because I was afraid of the recoil damage, and finally, one Wild Charge was able to knock him out. The first member, down. Next is a Water type Elite 4 member, Seabold. He sends out Cluster and I send out Java. I almost knocked him out with one Seed Bomb, but not quite. But after one Bulk Up, I was able to knock him out with one Seed Bomb. Next is Barbarbago. I'm not even gonna try pronouncing this Pokemon, which knocks me out with X-Scissors. I sent in C to hopefully knock him out with Earthquake, but sadly it wasn't enough and I got one shot with Cross Chop. Once again, it's all up to Python to finish this battle. As soon as I sent him in, I used Electric Terrain and started spamming Wild Charge like my life depended on it, sweeping his entire team and making that the second member, down. Next is the Dragon Elite 4 member, Drasna. She sent out Dragalge and I sent out C. I was able to knock it out with two Earthquakes without any problems. She sent out Drudigon and I did a bit of chip damage to it, but I wasn't able to knock it out before she uses Revenge on me. I sent out Java and I tried stalling it out with Leech Seed. Sadly, she kept spamming Dragon Tail and I switched into Python because of it. And this is really annoying because she kept switching in Python and Java over and over again. Luckily, I was able to knock it out with two crunches. She then sends out Altaria, which I was able to destroy with Wild Charge from Python. She then sends out her last Pokemon, Noivern. He's surprisingly faster than me, but other than that, he wasn't much of a threat. A combination of Electric Terrain and Wild Charge were able to knock it out, making this third member, down. Now it's the final Elite 4 member, Malva. She specializes in Fire-type Pokemon, and I saved her for last because I thought she was gonna be the hardest to face. But now it's time to face her, and I'm kinda terrified. She sends out Pyro and I send out C. I try using Earthquake to knock it out, but then she lowers my attack, so I know it wasn't possible anymore. And because of that, I sent in Python to take care of it. I used Electric Terrain and Wild Charge to one-shot it. Next is her Torkoal, and I sent in Java to stack it off, but the absolute legend was able to take multiple fire and flying type moves from Torkoal and Talonflame. The dude even knocked him out, so holy this guy is definitely the MVP for this battle. Now it's time for her last Pokemon, Chandelure, which Python was able to knock out with one crunch, winning us the battle and making this the last member, down. Now it's time for her final challenge, the strongest trainer in the Kalos region, Diantha. I'm kinda scared because once again, my team kinda sucks, so let's try our best to beat her. She sends out Halucha and I send out Python, and of course, one Wild Charge was able to knock her out. Her AI is pretty weird here. Next is her Tyrantrum, and I sent out Java because I want the other members to shine. Immediately I start using Leech Seed so I could stall it out, but sadly his head smash was too much for me to handle. To avenge him, I sent in C to knock him out with Earthquake. Well, at least he was able to get a kill. She then sends out Gudra, and I tried doing as much damage as I can, but sadly it wasn't enough and he hits me with Focus Blast. I don't know about you, but if I ever use that move, I'm probably gonna miss. No, I'm definitely gonna miss. Anyways, it's all up to Python to finish off this battle. What a surprise! Luckily for me, one return was able to knock it out. Next is Aurorus. Thinking he was gonna use Reflect, I used Electric Terrain, but for some reason, he uses Light Screen. This gives me the opportunity to one-shot it with Wild Charge. Next is her Gourgeist, which wasn't much of a hassle because Crunch was able to knock it out. Now is her last Pokemon, her ace, Mega Gardevoir. I don't know about you, but the fact that she intimidated me was pretty funny to me. Our journey's coming to an end, and with one Wild Charge, we won. We knocked her out and won the challenge. Well, technically, if it wasn't for what happened in the Victory Road. This was a pretty fun challenge. Sure, this was pretty hard and C didn't make it any better, but it was really fun thinking of strategies to beat the game. From EV training to grinding up, it all paid off in the end. So, can I beat Pokemon X and Y with Clement's anime team? Yes. Technically. Next is gonna be Pokemon Platinum with Dawn's anime team. Thanks for a suggestion in the comments down below. So if you have any suggestions, please comment them down below. I would love to hear it. Thank you for watching me suffering, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.